Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Today's topic will be related to what kind of activities we can conduct for K-12 students in a virtual classroom environment. For the purposes of webinar, your permissions to the camera, microphone, and the whiteboard is restricted. So please use the chat down on your screen to ask your questions anytime during the webinar. So at the end, we'll open a Q&A session and we'll discuss all your questions you might have, or I will give you the permission to speak directly. So that will be the organization for today. What will be the agenda? So we are going at first to talk a little bit about what are the necessary capabilities for a virtual classroom. Then we'll jump for different activities for preschool students, then for elementary school students. We'll jump also with some examples for secondary school students, high school students, and more deep into different examples. And as I said, at the end of the session, we'll open a Q&A session so you can ask your questions right here. I'll just send a short mm, message to be sure where the chat is. Um, Also, keep in mind all the examples I'm going to show today can be adopted for different age groups depending on the content and level and different activities can be suitable for more than one age group, really depending on the level of the content and the pictures and all that stuff. So let's try to think more generic for all of the activities. So when we talk about the capabilities of the virtual classroom and what is necessary to have in mind, at first, definitely we need to have audio and visual contact with our students. The idea of the virtual classroom is to replicate the feeling of a traditional classroom. So all the necessary things we usually have in the traditional classroom, we need to have in the virtual as well. So audio visual contact using cameras and microphones, then definitely the possibility to use various type of e-learning resources. Here is the good news because a lot of information available online, so pretty quickly we can take what we need, adapt it a little bit for our sessions and use it directly in the virtual classrooms. Um, the possibility to interact with our students, so collaborative learning, not our students to be just passive viewers of the process, but actively participating into the process by writing, create different content, drawing, working groups, and so on. And it's good to have the option to switch between the whole group of learners into small groups, individual activities as well, etc. Again, depending on the needs of the session. Depending again on the platform you're using for the sessions, it could be arranged in different ways. And then teachers control over the interaction. When we are talking about K-12 students, they're pretty creative. They'll try to sabotage your lesson just for fun. That's why it's really important to have a full control over their actions so we can keep the learning process smooth and on the way it should be. And of course, the option for monitoring and assessment of the learning process, it could be done by using the recordings of the session. It can be done in a real time with live monitoring as hidden observers, or later on just review the assessments you conducting in the virtual classrooms, etc. When we talk about these capabilities and how people remember as general, we need to have in mind that 10% of people remember what they read, around 20 what they hear, about 30 what they see, 50 what they hear and see, around 70 what they say, and 90 what they say and do. That's why it's really important to have a full combination between different activities, switch between activities where we can read, activities where we can say and do, activities where we can hear and see. So you can use during the learning process all of that things. So the engagement will be higher and the results at the end will be guaranteed. Mm, if we need to jump as a first step into the preschool activities, so what we have here, because of the age group, students need a really high interaction with the teacher. They have really short attention span. That's why here we need to definitely prepare for the session with highly interactivity. Um, Teacher-student approach. Students approach, etc. At that age group, the small group activities, individual activities are not suitable. So we definitely need to work together. um, a lot of video, audio materials, resources, songs, etc. The duration of a session for this age group should be between 15 and 20 minutes, and the maximum optimal number of participants actually is between 6 and 8. So we really need to focus, to do some funny things, part of the learning process, and not to give them too much information at the same time. Here is something which we need to have in mind. Definitely, we need to have a good relationship with the parents. In platforms as Vedamo, for example, we have specific features for preschool and elementary school students where there is no need of a parent next to the kid. But anyway, at that age group, the parent is a really important factor. That's why we definitely need to figure out how to involve the parents into the process as well. Um, what kind of activities we can arrange at that age group? We can arrange different matching games, odd one out, puzzles, musical games, role plays, competitions, guessing games, drawing, and a lot more. I'm going to play a short video from a real session with students so you can see all of these games into a short video and see how exactly they can be used in a real classroom. Right.
These are some examples when working in a virtual classroom, odd one out, and many, many more. The pictures and the numbers using the line tool on the left. How many bees do you see here?
7 ants.
Okay, match the picture and the number, please. Thank you very much. Okay, mark the fish. Thank you very much.
I'd like to eat some spaghetti, please. Okay.
Great. Now we will play a guessing game. Some animals are hiding under these balloons. I'm going to tell you more about the animals, and you should guess who is hiding under the balloons. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, the first one. I'm very small. I like eating cheese. Who am I?
A mouse.
Let's pop the balloon. Yes, it's the mouse. Use the shapes and drag and drop them here. what shape is this?
The snowman's nose is a triangle.
Thank you very much. It's a triangle.
Okay, sorry. So you saw into the example the higher interactivity and how they interact with the content. At that age group, we definitely need to arrange exercises mostly with drag and drop, just draw lines and easy things. At that age, they cannot type, they cannot do complicated things with the clipboard and so on. The only thing from here I didn't show up is the musical game, so that's why I will just demonstrate it right here. So if I play a song, and let me open the activity. All right. All right. So you saw that we can listen to song and just drag and drop the animals on the order they are during the song. A song, it's a really easy way to engage the students at that age. If we need to jump for the next age group and talk about the elementary school kids activities. So here, of course, we can use almost the same games and just a little bit at some more difficult stuff, etc. Here we can start introducing the teamwork um, into the sessions. We also can use a flipped classroom approach. For those of you who do not know what the flipped classroom approach means, is we can give them some, let's say, some activities, some researches to be done before the real session. And when they come into the session, they are kind of prepared for the topic we are going to discuss, and we can have like a next level interaction on the topic for the session during the lesson. Here, the optimal duration of the session is between 20 30 minutes, and the optimal number of participants between 8 and 12. Here, they can start do some writing and reading exercises. They can work in small groups or give them some individual activities. We can arrange them in a peer assessment activities, and also start doing a project-based learning activities. So what will be my example for today? Let me open it and play.
Development.
The next planet is Jupiter, and the sixth planet is Saturn. And then the last planet is Neptune.
Now we have to do this math exercise. Here we see what time is it, and we have to use the line tool and draw the hands of the clock.
It's 3:15.
Great, it's 3:15. Could you please draw the hands of the clock?
Here the time is 8:30.
Great, it's 8:30. Please draw the hands of the clock. How many minutes are there in 1 hour? Do you know?
It's 60 minutes. 1 hour. 4 hours in one day.
Thank you very much. Now I'm going to divide you into pairs and send you to a separate breakout rooms. You have to read this text and write down a title here.
Okay. Birdie friend. I love my little cat.
I will copy everything and we are going back to the main group.
Okay.
Now we are all back in the main group. Let's see the title of the first group.
Okay, so you saw the example of different activities. We also can do use the media player to demonstrate different activities or different processes and so on. If we need to do them then for the secondary school students, here definitely the main focus should be personalized and group activities, teamwork, project-based learning, a lot of games. The optimal duration of the session is between 30 and 40 minutes, and the optimal number of the participants between 12 and 18. Here a lot of reading, listening, writing exercises. We can do different demonstrations. For example, let's say if we are learning for the solar system and I want to demonstrate the movements of the solar system, I can do so, etc. Then we can do different activities in a virtual lab, let's say. So if we have a chemistry class and I need to demonstrate how exactly we need to do the experiment, I can do so as a part of the process. And then let me try to.
So today, I've decided to make a really unstable chemical called manganese heptoxide. To start with some sulfuric acid and then sprinkle on something called potassium permanganate. It makes this angry green liquid that can spontaneously decompose just by touching it. It also reacts with almost anything organic, and this is what it does to a cotton ball.
And for example, we can demonstrate them by using the media player. Then we can, let's say, put on the whiteboard different pieces, or different, I'm not sure, is it chemistry equations with all the formulas, etc., and just order them as it is during the experiment. We can do writing exercises. So if we, let's say, have an English class and we need to fill in the gaps here, we can directly use our clipboard and type here. Everybody can see what we are writing, or all together can interact on the same place, or we can duplicate how many times we need the same worksheet and everybody can have like a separate one. Also, we can build a story. Um, if we pretty quickly, let's say, put a random words as a brainstorming on the whiteboard, and kids can take a few of them and create a whole story on a top of the main 3 or main 5 words, etc. What else we can do here is organize different kind of competitions. For example, scavenger hunt. If we give them a list with things and activities they need to do for the next 10 minutes, we can arrange it totally virtually, using the breakout rooms or searching something in internet, let's say with some short codes and instructions where to look for and give them some points about it. Or maybe we can make a combination between something physically to be collected and show in front of the class as well. Really depend on the topic and the subject we are discussing during the session. It's also a great opportunity for field trips. If we need to demonstrate, let's say, a museum walk or something. So again, imagine we need to be into Acropolis, so we can
To the public in the summer of 2009 and provides visitors with a comprehensive image of the Acropolis and its finds with the comforts of a modern.
And later on, we can arrange a discussion about what we have seen during the field trip, or the virtual walk, what are the important thing, and jump on the topic for the subject. It could be also for an icebreaker at the beginning of a session, depending on the topic we need to implement. Then something which is really fun at that age, the game Draw It. The teenagers love talking about themselves, their emotions, etc. So um, if we start again as an icebreaker or something like that at the beginning, while we are waiting for somebody, for everyone to join the class, okay, let's draw a picture of how we feel today. Or we can even play a music while we are waiting for the whole class, etc. At that age, we can collect a lot of information from our students directly. They have great ideas, so we can directly implement them and use into the sessions. We can use also a timer just to have more competitive element into the session. We can put them in breakout rooms. We can use a lot of audio and video materials as well, just to engage during the session. When we also want to demonstrate, let's say, processes, we can directly use GIF files, let's say, so they can imagine what exactly is happening. Or the example with the worksheets, directly PDF put on the whiteboard, so they can directly work on a top of it individually or each by each separately if we duplicate our content on different pages. If we need to jump then for the high school students, what important to be mentioned, all that activities we've already um, talked about, we can implement and use them, of course. But here, the personalized and group activities are really important because at that age group, students are all the time just me, me, me. And it's a great opportunity just to work in groups and start preparing those kids for the life after school. The project-based learning, the teamwork, again, we can implement here deeper researches, discussions, planning. They can have like a progress check between each other. They can be in a role of a presenter, and present a topic in front of a class. They can do online assessment. The optimal duration of this kind of session should be between 40 and 60 minutes, and the maximum number of participants, again, I mean active participants with switch on cameras and microphones, should be between 16 and 25. Otherwise, it will be more as a presentation or a lecture instead of interactive session. Here they can write together. They can continue use that virtual labs. Something which is really great as an option at that age is the possibility to use mind mapping. So they can create with their peers a mind map of a topic or a project we want them to do after school as a homework, and creating together the mind mapping and then do the homework at home. Even we can arrange such kind of a model as a blended if we combine traditional with online activities on one place. Then we can continue do competitions. Here is really great if we use the breakout rooms to implement the rotation station model, let's say. So what does it mean? We can create let's say 10 virtual 10 breakout rooms, give different activities to be done in different breakout sessions. So we can put even a timer, let's say 2 minutes in group 2, 3 minutes in group 4, etc., and give them a time limitation to do a concrete activity and then come back into the main one. Um, they can also, as I said, present in front of the class. They can start doing pitch of an idea in front of the class. They can even invite a guest. They can do activities as reporters, let's say, on a topic they need to present, etc. Something really popular at that age group and something which definitely starting to be more searched in Google is the digital escape rooms for educational purposes. I'm not going to describe them deeper today, but you can search and see what exactly it is. Give them different activities specifically for the topic of today's lesson, and give let's say a quote or a part of a exercise or part of a poem, depending on the subject you're going to discuss during the session. It's a lot very fun for the students, and we can use their imagination, our imagination, just to arrange a really powerful digital escape room on any subject. Um, they can create posters by using the tools in the virtual classroom, different pictures, files, etc. Online advertising an idea, etc. Again, here we can use all the tools in the virtual classroom, actively the timer, the breakout rooms, personal notes, track their progress and their engagement as well, etc. The worksheets are also more than welcome here. This is the usual way, even in a traditional classroom. So it's a great opportunity to do an online assessment and then import all the content from the whiteboard so you can store their results. And even for that age group, we can use drag and drop activities. So we can definitely mm, just drag and drop and still engage them with really easy steps. Mm, so let me check what else I can show you. Oh, yeah, something which I definitely forgot to tell you, but it's a good option as an icebreaker, for example. And again, depending on the age group, you can implement different board games into the virtual classroom. So how the board games can be used in the virtual classroom? We can put the board of the game right here directly on the whiteboard as a PDF or a picture. We can use the tools in the virtual classroom. You know, we have like subjects, objects, different objects, let's say animals, etc. And we can use a virtual dice to play the game. So I will just show you how this works, because it's a really funny thing.
If I go into a game, depending on the kid, I've taught them that if you go down here, you've got all different shapes and things, and they can create a game piece. So when we're playing a game, they can pick a game piece they like. They know how to, they would like it to, then they're playing the game. I'm playing with them. So I'll pick a game piece and they pick a game piece. And then I have on my phone actually.
Yeah, and they use actually the virtual dice. They can use the media player, or this teacher uses her phone for a virtual dice, but and again use it as a part of the learning process as well. So the only limitation of using different activities, no matter of the age group of the students, is how convenient you feel in the virtual classroom with all the materials and the tool you are using. So start with small steps, and anytime just add new things, and so on. I hope the session today was useful for you. It was just a short overview of what kind of activities we can arrange here. Feel free to contact me anytime if you have any questions. Thank you for your time. Um, it was nice meeting you even without seeing you. So thanks, and see you soon. Bye bye.